Ever heard of KPIs? It's what people like Alex Amosi and Ryan Reynolds use every single day in their companies to make millions. Now, if you're an agency owner and you stumbled across this video, chances are you already know what KPIs are. You know how difficult it is to track all the different things happening in your agency all at once while still doing the millions of other things you do on a day-to-day basis. What if there was a different way to track your KPIs? A way which required no additional work, allowed everything to run on autopilot, and gave you a superpower over your competitors. This is the power of combining automation and your KPIs together. In this video, I'll be going over why it's essential to track and use KPIs in your agency when making decisions. Once you understood that, I'll show you how you can actually automate this for free in less than 5 minutes. This video is guaranteed to change how you actually track your KPIs for the better, switching the old for the new, and bringing you one step closer to a modern streamlined agency where you can provide more value to your customers or doing less work. This probably sounds too good to be true, and I don't blame you. I thought the exact same thing when I first started doing this, so to avoid wasting any of your time, let's get straight into it. Oh, by the way, if you're new here, you'll soon find out we don't hide anything, so be ready to get a full solution to a big problem in your life completely for free from a random channel on YouTube. Let's get started. So like I said, guys, I'm not here to be wasting any of your time. I'm just going to get straight into it. We're going to talk about the benefits that actually come along with tracking KPIs, the problem that most of you are currently having when tracking on KPIs, the solution, and how to actually implement a solution completely for free. And if you actually watch until the end, I'll actually share with you a completely custom template that you can literally copy and paste in your agency so you can start tracking KPIs together in one sheet. So you're probably thinking, why should I even bother tracking KPIs or key performance indicators? That's because of the clear benefits they bring along. There's a reason people like Alex Amosi and Jordan mention KPIs in their videos, and I guarantee it's something that they spend a lot of money in tracking within their agencies, and that's because of the clear benefits that tracking KPIs actually bring. Now, there's a ton of different benefits that come from tracking KPIs, but the way I see it, it always breaks down to two main things: performance insights and informed decision making. And let me break this down a bit further for you. Let's say you're driving a car blindfolded. You'd have no clue how fast you're going, how far other cars are, or even where the road is. So you're likely to crash the car and not get to your desired destination. Well, the exact same principle applies to agencies. You need to be tracking things like churn rate, show up rate, so you can actually increase your sales and make more money every single month. Second clear benefit that tracking KPIs bring is the informed decision making. If you ever stuck between two options and you don't really know which approach to take, looking at your KPIs and assessing the current level you're at and where you want to go can give you a clear framework when making decisions. Avoid involving any bias or emotional decision making. One thing's for sure, your KPIs will not lie to you, especially if you follow the approach I'm about to show you in this video. I didn't want to touch too much on the benefits because chances are if you're an agency owner, you already know the benefits of tracking KPIs. Like I said, there's a reason people like Alex and Jordan talk about these in their videos. But what you probably don't know is the problem that you're currently facing when you're tracking KPIs. So let me break this down for you. In your agency, there's a ton of different KPIs that you should be tracking, from churn rate, show up rate, number of book calls, level of outreach sent, qualified close rate. Tracking all of these while doing everything else that you're currently doing in your agency is literally impossible. It's just not going to happen, especially if you're doing all of it manually. Which is the reason why big companies hire people like Bob to look after their data for them, making sure everything is up to date and analyzing data for, key errors or anything like that. But if you can't afford Bob and you're still doing it yourself, it'll lead to inaccurate data, which is literally the same as useless data. In fact, it's even worse. You're not only driving a car with a blindfold on, you have the confidence of a Formula One driver, which will leave in a bigger crash. And once again, you not getting to your desired goal. Now, quite obviously, this is worst case scenario, but I do want to emphasize the damage that having inaccurate data can actually have in your agency, and it's 100% not going to get you to the destination that you want to do, especially at scale when you have a bunch of different data coming over. The reality is that most agencies right now can't spend 50k plus a year on people like Bob to look after their data, which is why we're going to present to you the solution, which is actually using automation to automatically track this data for you. Automation will basically allow you to track all your different KPIs 24/7 with no human error whatsoever. This literally ensures your KPIs are kept up to date every single day automatically. All you have to do is look over the data and make your decisions, and it will literally run while you're sleeping. Now, yes, automation is a solution to this problem and overcomes the difficulties of actually tracking KPIs. Now that we've actually found a solution, we're already halfway there. We actually need to implement a solution, and that's what I'm going to be showing you in the last part of this video. I've broken this down for you into key steps you need to follow, so if you haven't already, make sure you're paying attention because this is where the real value is. So the first thing you want to do is set out all of the key KPIs that you actually want to track. So I've written some examples here, but guys, don't be restricted by this. You need to think about the stuff that's important to you and your specific case scenario. So I've written a couple generic examples such as churn rate, show up rate, number of outreach, YouTube views, signups, profit, revenue. And these are the key KPIs I'm going to want to be tracked or setting up in this video, just as an example. Once you actually kind of outlined all the different things you want to track, and it should be 10 plus realistically, you want to sign up to a no-code automation tool like Zapier or Make. These are basically identical. It doesn't really matter which one you pick. I believe both of them have free trials. So play around with them and kind of choose one. For this video, we're going to be using Zapier because that's mainly what you'll be using in our agency. So if you want to follow along with us, sign up to Zapier. Now that we've signed up to a no-code automation tool, it's time to set up the actual trigger. This is basically going to start the automation to allow you to track KPIs automatically. If we're going with the example of tracking number of book calls, our trigger will actually be someone booking a call. So we're going to head over to Zapier and I'm going to show you what that actually looks like in an automation world. So guys, now that we're in Zapier, we're going to head over to Trigger and we're going to connect Calendly. Now the actual app you're using doesn't matter. You can connect your own booking app, but I'm guessing most of you are using Calendly to actually book your meetings. So that's what we're going to be going with in this example. We're going to put invitee created, which is basically when someone schedules an event. So I've just gone ahead and booked a call. And if you're over to Zapier, you can see my call is right here. So what this basically means, every single time someone books a call, this automation will trigger. Now, if you're like me and you have a bunch of different calls as well, you should set up a filter step that only allows your sales source to go through. So if you go to event type name and then put contain, then you can put sales, for example. And that's basically your trigger completely set up. So this will basically trigger whenever a call goes through, and then it'll check if it's a sales call. And if it is, then the automation will continue running. If it's not, the automation will stop. So you're not tracking team calls for one of your sales KPIs. So now that we've actually set up the trigger to automatically start whenever someone books a sales call, we need to find a place to store this data that we're going to be bringing in whenever someone books a call. For that, we're going to be using this master KPI spreadsheet. Now, if you guys want access to this, all you have to do is check out the first link in the description and make a copy of the template. And while you're there, you might as well like and subscribe to the video because I promise you there's no one else on YouTube giving away this much free value. I literally don't even want your email now. I'll be giving you this complete custom template sheet, which has all the formulas already pre-populated. So you can literally copy and paste it within your agency. It's crazy. And it's the old sheet we used at the start of 2024. We recently changed since then because we brought on our Google Sheets experts to the team just so we can provide a bit more value to our clients. So I thought, let me just give away my old template for free. So like I said, all the formulas are pre-populated. I'll be showing you all the cool stuff on the sheet. But if you want access to this and want to follow along this video, check out the first link in the description. Like I said, I don't even want your emails, completely free. So make sure to drop a like and subscribe while you're at it. So this is going to be our kind of master sheet. But obviously, there's no real place to put this data that we're getting in from Calendly or booking software on this main hub. That's why I've created these kind of individual sections down here. For this specific example, because we're tracking a number of book calls, we're going to go over to sales report. And as you can see, this is the kind of format we're going to be following. This is where we want to add our data. We're going to want to add the company name and the call date. So now that we know where we're actually going to be storing our data, let's go back to Zapier and add another step. So here I'm going to connect Google Sheets. And the reason this is hosted on Google Sheets is because it's a lot easier to automate than Excel. So that's a tip for you. If you ever want to automate a sheet, use Google Sheets. It's much easier. The trigger for this is going to be create spreadsheet row. Then you want to find your spreadsheet. So for this, it'll be 2024 analytics. And for the worksheet, we're going to choose the sheet we're actually working on, which is actually the sales report. Now, once we're there, there's a couple of things we want to format straight from Calendly. We're going to get the company name first. For this example, it's going to be the first name. And then we're going to put a call date, which if you scroll down, will be right here. Now, this isn't that pretty. So if you really wanted to, you could add a formatting step before this to get a better date. But just for the example, to keep things as simple as possible, we're going to leave it. And all you want to do is head over to continue and test it. And as you can see, if we head back over to our spreadsheet, you can see it's already automatically populated here with a company name and the actual date. Now, the cool thing about this, if you go back to a KPI overview, you can see this is already starting to automatically update. So we have one booked call for February and the show up rate is 100% because no show is not qualified. However, if I were to take this, if they don't show, you can see the show up rate is now 0% because 100% of the calls didn't show up. I would suggest playing around with this sheet. Like I said, all the formulas are pre-populated for the different months. And there's a ton of different features. So for example, you can automatically track your qualified close rate if you take this and this. 100% of the calls in February are actually qualified and closed. So if you go back over here, you see we have 100% qualified close rate. And that's all using a two-step automation, which is so simple to actually set up. And this will automatically allow us to track the number of book calls we're actually having completely automatically. Quite crazy, right? Now, going through each one of these examples in this video would be impossible. It would be way too long and no one would actually watch it. But what you want to basically do is rinse and repeat what I've just shown you for all the different KPIs that you actually want to track within your agency, using the same kind of approach. Firstly, set up the trigger. Secondly, find a place to actually store the data. And thirdly, finish setting up your automation so your data updates automatically on your spreadsheet. Like I said, if you want to access this, check the first link in the description. It already has some containers for your data you can put in for content, outreach, retention, financial stuff. And feel free to build on this spreadsheet. This is very, very basic. There's a lot more things you can actually do when it comes to tracking KPIs, but it's a great place to start, especially if you don't have anything like this already. Once you've kind of done rinse and repeat in this approach to all the other KPIs you want to track, on this spreadsheet, you'll have a clear overview of all your different KPIs, which are automatically updated 24/7 with no human error. I know this video was useful, guys. I'm 100% sure it will change the way you're going to start tracking your KPIs, because before this, I was also tracking my KPIs manually, and I can tell you right now, it was not fun. It took way too long to actually do, and most of the time I wasn't paying full attention when doing it, so I made a couple of mistakes leading to inaccurate data, which led me to make some pretty bad decisions. So hopefully this video can stop you from doing that and you actually found it helpful. If you want to learn a bit more about automation, check out the second link in the description for an agency's guide to automation. It's got 4 different tools you can actually use to get an insight on how you can actually use automation in your agency completely for free. We usually give this to partners when they first get onboarded, but I'm more than happy to share with you guys for free. And last but not least, if you want to set up a custom sheet like this to track KPIs within your agency, whilst having a built from scratch, completely custom operating system, which is backed by automations, automating over 100 different tasks in your agency, all in the space of 3 months, booking a call with our team. Now, just a heads up, this is not for everyone. So if you're not at that point where you need this, which is usually around the 30K stage, then I wouldn't recommend booking a call just yet. Make the most of our free tools. They're there for a reason. We release all this content completely for free so we can actually get started on your automation journey. Thank you guys for watching. And like I said, please make sure to like and subscribe. We recently hit 100 subscribers, which has been amazing. So thank you guys for all your support. And if you have any questions about any of this, just drop a comment below. Don't be shy. We literally answer to every single comment, because I know stuff like this can get confusing. And when I first started learning this stuff and implemented these things in my agency, I didn't have anyone to help me. So if you need any help with anything, drop a comment. If you want more content like this, check out these 2 videos, which a YouTube algorithm has literally recommended for you. And that's it from me. I'll catch you in the next one.